Welcome back to Shaman King 2021 Anime Review, episode number 8. This one viewing the 8th episode of the reboot series, Evolution. Yes, that is seriously the name of this one. You were thinking, Evolution? You mean the old wrestling stable from 2002 to 2005? No, this has nothing to do with that. It's just that some people might think of Evolution as that. Think of like evolution that's taught in schools, not actual Christianity. People think of that. This is more like evolving, like what happens here. Now, this episode adapts from chapters 47 to 53. Everybody thinking, 47, 53? That's like 7 chapters. Last week was 8. This one's 7. Even I was surprised about that. Yeah, that is something though. 7 chapters. I guess you can't always have, basically, well. Now, things start off quite interestingly. Now, the anime does skip over the first couple pages of the chapter, but does that pretty much the chapter pretty faithfully. We start off with Menta in the hospital. Now, the scene is pretty much mostly intact, except they made some slight alterations here. Like, yes, they show off his sister, his mom. The subbing here does not mention their ages. His mom at this point is 37, and his little sister is 5. Yes, she is 5 years old. And then here comes Menta's father. Now, in the manga, they actually show him show up a little bit earlier than this, but they haven't cut it out. My guess is because they want to basically, oh look, it's Menta's father. And, like, here's another bit they changed. When he got slapped by his father. Now, in the manga, yes, this did happen too. But they did make one small change here. In the manga, Mento was briefly sent flying briefly across the bed. In the anime, that didn't happen. They actually changed that. Mostly puts like, and here's the thing. Now, in the manga, I don't think he ever referred to Yo's family as a group of witch doctors. He referred to them as something else. I'm not really sure why he referred to them as witch doctors for. Like, I'm sure if someone else like me was there, I would tell his father, they're not witch doctors, they're freaking shamans. There are differences between two of them. Yes. They talk to spirit. They don't cast spells. Whatever. Yeah, so they have meant to go get some green tea, whatever. This happens in manga too, and he stops by a room. You actually don't see the name because they actually obscure that for some reason. Now, here is a big change. Now, visually wise, it looks like story-wise, it's the same. Except, here is the big change they made. Where they had Yo's bed. Because Yo was in the hospital too, with Anna and Akamaru. That's true. Now, in the manga, the foot of the bed is facing the door. In the anime, they have facing toward the wall. Now, my guess is the reason why they changed this, and this is probably a good reason. Why the heck would a hospital allow a bed facing the door of the room? That honestly makes no sense at all. Especially since even modern hospitals don't even look like that at all. Like, this change, perfectly fine. Aside from that, it's most of the same dialogue. And basically, Yo talking very cruelly to him. Of course, he goes away. And then he goes to, then he agrees to, suppose to go with his mother to America, because apparently when he left the hospital to go to American University, he doesn't go. And then he basically just decides right there and there, he wants to go see Yo and basically see what the heck is up with him. Now, they also kind of in a way added in, right after that, when he gets outside, he realizes, though, he actually forgot his wallet. That's actually from the next chapter. They put that here for some reason, in the merge scenes. And then here is Ro, which this is a big change. Story-wise, it's the same, except they rearranged the scenery here, where they found him outside the airport, except that in the manga, it was actually someplace else. In the anime, it was basically here at the airport. They chat for a bit. He wants to come to sous chef, and he gets up and goes riding with Yo across country to Yo's house. And here's more changes they made. Story-wise, the same, except they made some visual changes here. They arrive at a restaurant, they eat there, and there's actually a lot more. This actually was a big change, because here it looks kind of like a small diner. In the manga, it looks like a cafeteria they went to. Yeah, I'm not really sure why they... Now, This I kind of get, because why in the world would a restaurant look exactly like an American cafeteria? Unknown the reason for it. So they change it to, well, the small restaurant. They drive off, and they arrive close to the house. And before we get to here, we have to go on with Yo. Mostly, but for him, from his perspective at this point, when he arrives at his home to begin his training, mostly put for him at this point, it's exactly the same. There is no major changes here. He pretty much like goes in the tunnel, and he's supposed to live for 7 days, 7 nights, supposed to can't eat or drink. And we see Tamako for the first time in the anime. Now, I should point out, though, something interesting, though, about her original English dub actress. You've probably been surprised that this woman, who was known for voicing another character, and yet she was in the 4Kids dub. Veronica Taylor. Yes. Though they changed her hair color here, because in that anime, her hair was blue. Here, it's pink. Not really sure why. Maybe it's because, and this is my personal theory, that they changed it from blue to pink because they probably think she's related to the surfer guy from a few episodes back. That's possible, the reason for it. So they weren't confused, obviously. So she's presented pretty much the same as in the manga, very shy. They actually don't show what's on her sketchboard in the anime. They do in the manga, where she talks to Yo's grandfather about a tall guy and a short guy. They come behind Calamity. She works for her spirits to stop them. And then she meets up with them. Briefly has a scuffle with them. Until she's stopped by Anna, who refers to in the anime, this of course English sub, as Anna-sama. Now, Ryu refers to Anna as, and Yo as boss. So, they basically go see him. And Yo comes out, changed. And basically, they have dinner, have Tomoka. Most of the scene is most the same. Like the rest of the thing is like he eats dinner with everybody, and Yo and Menta have a talk, and then of course his father challenges him to a sparring match to test that his powers increased, and it has. Basically, his oversoul ability has evolved, where it basically looks like part of Akamaro's armor. Basically, is part of his arm now. When he's in the when he uses the sword, he uses oversoul. His oversoul mode, and he basically eliminates all the Shinsengumi, the little ball things his grandfather was in, and shows that he's basically stronger. But that's not what the episode ends. Basically, you think, oh yeah, good happy note. But no, basically, we show something that was also briefly started the episode. Tao Rin. Yep. Now, mostly put for him, the scene is most percent the same, except they made some obvious changes here. Like, they actually added him basically, showing his hand turning up the water on the shower he's in. Yes, he's taking a shower. Now, in case you're probably asking, was this scene actually in the original anime? No. No, it wasn't. Yeah, for some reason, this was not in the original anime. Nope. And then you see the tattoo on his back. Now, they actually don't go far as back. They don't show it like the top of his butt. Now here's the thing, when they show him out of the shower, they ask like where his sister is. He asks basically, he says in the anime, he says, sister, prepare the usual milk and towel. And Bai says she's not here, she went to China to be with family. And oh yeah, and also I should point out though, this actually is a change. Yes, they made a big change here where they actually do it from the front instead of the back, because in the manga, like, if you're a viewer, you might actually like seeing this. You see Taorin's butt in the manga. Yep, you see his butt. In the anime, they actually show from the front, but no, they did not show his groin. Nope, they're not that type of anime. They do so obscure it by some object, so he's clearly naked, but you don't see the bits that basically a female viewer might like seeing on a guy. But this is a little boy. You don't really need to see that. So, he points out that he hates his family, the fact that they're obsessed with vengeance and return to family, and talk about various other stuff, the horse, the bison's got, and the fact that he's going for a rematch. Now, they mentioned at the start of the episode, Faust, because of his victory over Yo, he goes straight to second round. If Yo beats Tao Ren, he goes second round because he technically does have one victory over Hanro. Yes, he has one. He's 1-1. If he can win a second match, he can go straight to the next round. Simple as that. Yep. And basically, you have him declaring vengeance. He was going to basically just go and deal with Yo, which is going to happen next week's episode. How much of the manga they cover next week, I have no idea. But yeah, it's something though in just 8 episodes, and they've already covered the first 53 chapters. Yes, 53. Which, that is amazing. The fact they've covered that much in that short period of time. Yep. But not much else to say about this episode. It's pretty good. And I personally can't wait for next week's episode, which will be episode number 9. Yo versus Ren again. Yep. How much this manga will cover, I don't know. I'll find out when I get a chance to watch the episode next week. So yeah, that's episode review, and that's pretty much it for videos today. Now, I did mention that I would say something about if there's going to be a video coming tomorrow. Maybe. The only thing I might do tomorrow is a comic book history, possibly. Or, yeah, comic book history. The only thing I probably think I'll probably do, aside from that, is a comic corner, because I'm planning to go to Barnes & Noble tomorrow, so hopefully get more trades. Or, if the thing comes in tomorrow, it might be a Doctor Who video coming tomorrow. Yes. Now, when this next episode going to come for Our Last Day of New World, that will come when I finish book 3. When I get to book 3. Right now, I'm reading Sword Aurelia, book 5. Yes, I'm on book 5. And it's only just a little over 200, it's like 215 pages, so it shouldn't take me too long to get through. And I'll go through 2 trade paperbacks, and I'll do like 1 hour book, and then I'll work on basically book 3. So I have to read 4 books before I get to book 3. And you're probably asking, why not just go ahead and read book 3? Because I want to get our books done first, and I have a stack here where do I want to get through. Yep. So, until the next video, probably tomorrow. Bye.